Good morning, David Lapp here, coming to you live from my office in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Today is April the 23rd, 2025. Wanted to get on here between a couple of meetings that I have going on today. I just looked, I have 5 meetings on my calendar, but I have a little bit of time here. Wanted to address a question from Terry from Souderton, Pennsylvania. Question that Terry has is loving your neighbor even when we don't agree. We need more unity and forgiveness through Christ. So, Terry, the way I would look at that is, personally, the way some of the things we've gone through in our lives, and just being able to walk through that, you know, you can be right, but that doesn't need to affect your relationship. Sometimes you have to let go of the need of being right or the right of being right. For example, if you're driving down the road and you're doing everything right, and a car crosses over the middle lines coming towards you, you can be right in all the ways, but you might end up being dead right. But what I'm saying with that is it worth the relationship to be right, or can you work with the person? Can you help them see a different perspective to where even if you're right and you're right, can you still give them grace in that process? Uh, or is this something where you expect the other person to be at the same place you are, and until they are, then you can't talk? So, I would encourage you to try to see things from their perspective and see if there's something that you're missing. In the process of loving your neighbor, even if you don't agree, there's nothing saying that you have to agree with everybody to have some kind of relationship. And finding where you can agree on can sometimes be very powerful, to where, even if you don't agree, is there something you can agree on, and can you use that to build a relationship? And I'm just thinking back of, when we were excommunicated from the Amish church, for my in-laws, they're still older Amish. This would have been 19 years ago. They asked us, or they told us that we're welcome to visit them as long as we respect their wishes, or we respect where they're at, as a family with the Amish church. And we could do that. And for a number of years, we would drive to Indiana, because they lived in Indiana, to my sister's house, and then we would take their horse and buggy to my in-laws, which were about 2 miles away. And that allowed us to build relationships over the years, to where, it came to the point, I think it was like 10 years into it, where they allowed us to actually come and visit them with our vehicle. And but through the years, once they saw that we are actually looking to respect them, uh you know it was able to build that relationship. Sometimes relationships take time. Sometimes, just being able to work through that, and trying to understand where the other person is coming from. At the same time, just dealing with all the bitterness or the unforgiveness in your own heart, to where, we can look at what other people should be doing, or we can look at our own self and say, how am I doing in that area? Everybody wishes that the other person would do it right, but are we doing it right? Are we doing what we know to do to be an example to the other people? Because, as a human being, we often tend to judge other people by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intentions. So, if we're judging ourselves by our intentions of what we intend to do, and we're looking at other people at what they're actually doing, even if their intentions are good, or their intentions are not what's coming through, we want to be careful that we respect that we also give them the same grace that we would like to have for ourselves. Sometimes we go through life, and we're looking for other people to lead the way, instead of stepping out and leading where God called us to lead. There's a thing of honoring other people's journeys also, where, if none of us have had the same journey. And, if you're looking at a disagreement, or you're looking at something where you don't agree with somebody, maybe they don't have the same calling you do. Maybe they are called to something different, Because if you think about it, in an organization or in a church or in a, even in a family, if two people agree on everything, one of them is unnecessary. And, sometimes we need to look at what are the disagreements, and then also what are the callings that go with that, and how can we work together? How can we build off of the strengths of each other rather than compare our weaknesses? And just being able to understand where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and respect your teams or your families or your friends strength and build off of those strengths rather than focus on their weaknesses. It doesn't take a lot of skill to find dirt in somebody or to find dirt, but if you really want to find the gold, you have to do a little bit of digging and a little bit of cultivating. And sometimes just spending more time or digging deeper, getting over the surface issues, you can get to the real gold that God put into their heart and help them to be able to walk in that and to grow in that and to develop their own skills in that. So yeah, thank you for the question, Terry. If there's anybody else that has any questions out there, be sure to jump on the link on my comments there and just submit the questions. I'm happy to address any questions that come in. In the meantime, if you want to subscribe to my channels, I stream live to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Telegram. I know I had said last week that I was also live streaming to Instagram, but there's extra steps involved in Instagram that I recognize if I don't make it easy to live stream, I'm more apt to just push it off. So the reason I chose these 4 platforms is I can tie them into my streaming software, and with a click of a button, I can be live to all 4 platforms. So that's why I chose these 4 platforms. DLAP7 is my handle on all 4 platforms. So feel free to follow me there. And if you find value in this, feel free to share it, like it, comment, ask questions. Submit questions through my online link if you can. That way it stays organized on my end, and I can make sure I don't miss important questions. So yeah, thank you for watching. God bless you and enjoy the beautiful weather here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We are experiencing sunny and it should be in the 70s today. So make sure you get out and enjoy the day. God bless you and have a great time.